Hello, everyone. Welcome back to TFFC Tips for Future CAs 2025. So, in my previous video, I discussed the overall SPOM strategy and answered the most common FAQs. So, I decided for this video, I'll be covering the Set A, that is Corporate Law Examination of ICAI for CA final students. So, in this video, I'll share exactly how I prepared for it. So, I appeared for the SPOM exams, as I said in my previous video, in May 2026 and cleared all 4 papers in my first attempt. Everything I'll share today is based on what actually worked for me. Before we begin, if this video helps you, please subscribe to the channel. Also comment below which paper you'd like me to cover next, or if there is anything in specific you want me to answer, any particular question or a subject for which you want me to make a video to explain, please do let me. I would love to answer your queries or make a video on that particular subject. Now coming to the SPOM Set A exam. So, the Set A paper is for it's a duration of 3 hours. Total questions are 50 MCQs. Each MCQ is of 2 marks, and total the paper is of 100 marks. The first thing I noticed was that the time is not a problem. 3 hours for 50 questions is more than enough. I finished comfortably with time to review my answers. So don't enter the exam thinking about speed. Focus on accuracy. Coming to the nature of questions, one misconception many students have is that the questions are direct theory based. That was not my experience. Most questions are application oriented. Instead of asking what does this section state, they usually give a practical situation and ask you to identify the correct legal implication. That's why conceptual understanding is much more important than rote learning. If you understand why a provision exists and when it applies, you will be able to answer even unfamiliar questions. Coming to the material that I followed, I mainly relied on Shubham Singhal sir's notes. They are concise, exam oriented, and help me complete the syllabus efficiently. However, while studying, don't just read the notes once and move ahead. Understand the concepts behind every topic. So, in this particular paper, since it's MCQ based, understanding is much more important because again we have application based questions. Not remembering the theory is just not enough. We have to understand also what is said in that. No one is going to ask you directly any provision based question and give you the provision in the answer. So that is not how it is going to work. Number one. Number two, I want to say that I gave my exam in May 26, and the time that I booked the slot, I was not aware of the new lectures that had come in, and small changes or big changes, I'm not very sure, that have been made in the syllabus. So when I booked the lectures, I did not know that, and then when I got to know about that, I was like, how am I going to get this now? But then I just studied whatever I had in my hand, because again I had booked the slot, so there was no point of now thinking ki kaise hoga kya hoga. So I just focused on what I had in my hand was the old notes. Old, I'm saying that's because definitely now the new notes will come in. I don't know what changes in the syllabus there have been. So what notes I had of the previous attempts, I think it was of 2024, I used those notes and I studied them. So if that's what I'm saying, if you understand the concept, maybe those notes only help me to answer the questions now. So I don't know what was the change and how was it, but I was able to answer the questions and I cleared it. That's what matters. Coming to my preparation timeline, so I completed Set A in around 10 to 12 days. So I was managing my office work as well as some other stuff, due to which I could get only a 10 to 12 days duration. So what I did was, during those 10 to 12 days, how did I divide my time? So around 4 hours every weekday I used to study. So to give you a brief, I started studying from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I studied 4 hours. Then Saturday, Sunday, I used to study for around 7 to 8 hours. And again, I had a Monday to Friday day gap. Then Saturday was my paper. So my target was simple: complete one chapter every day. This helped me maintain consistency without feeling overwhelmed. The weekend strategy was like, I intentionally kept the bigger chapters like SEBI, FEMA, FCRA for the weekend, because I had longer study hours available. Trying to finish these chapters after a full working day would have been difficult. So imagine when you come home tired, it is very difficult to study these chapters. Honestly, this is an honest review. So if you study these chapters with a fresh mind, your retention will also be better. So my suggestion would be that try to study these chapters with a fresh mind and on weekends rather than on weekdays when you have your articleship and your office going on. Lighter chapters would be easier to grab on and finish off. Plan your schedule according to the weight of each chapter instead of simply following the sequence in the book. What should you highlight? While reading, I highlighted only things that required revision. For example, penalties, time limits, important number of days, monetary limits, a few important section numbers whenever I thought they were necessary. Don't waste time memorizing every section number. Remember only the frequently tested or very important ones. During revision, these highlighted points become extremely valuable. And trust me when I'm saying they are valuable, they are absolutely valuable. Like when I highlighted these points, I did not have much time. Like definitely when you go for the paper, you don't have much time to review and study everything. But when you highlight stuff, that's what you have to read before you go into the paper, get into the paper. So that's what really helped me. Again, revision strategy also, my last day before the exam was dedicated entirely to revision. So I revised penalties, time periods, important limits, frequently confused concepts, and short notes. Don't start a new chapter on the last day. Please do not study anything new. You will definitely not remember and you will go blank. So there is no point studying anything new. If you have studied something, just stay up to that. Do not study anything new. Use that day to strengthen what you have already studied. And trust me when I say this, penalties, time periods, these are very important, because there is a direct question, and it's like brownie points to your paper. These are generally direct questions. So there was one time period question to which I did not remember key what was the time period exactly. I was not pretty sure. So I just want to give you a hint. That's what I used. 30 days is very common. That's what I noticed. 30 days is very common. So that's what I selected. I don't know if that was right or that was wrong, but I just want to say that 30 days is common. So maybe that will help you. Penalties, section 447 is very important. Do not skip that. It is very, very, very important. Also in SEBI, penalties is very important. So do not skip that. I think there was a direct question that was asked to me for that. So these are direct brownie points. If you remember this, you are so done. Like the SEBI, number of days the financials should be filed, and etc. So these are very important, and the penalties is also very important on that if it is not done. So there was a direct question, and this is just like a brownie point. कुछ सोचना करना है नहीं, जो याद है वो, that's the answer. That's it. So I feel these are just a good addition to your marks. Exam tips: read every question carefully. Many options appear similar. Usually, one small word changes the entire answer. Don't guess based on keywords. Read the complete scenario first and then apply the concept. If you're unsure, eliminate incorrect options before choosing the final answer. So maybe first strategy for me was that when I read the question, I used to first read the question, and then I used to think in my mind what could the answer be, and then after that I used to look at the options. If you immediately look at the options, you will definitely get confused, and maybe you know the answer but you end up getting confused and you choose the wrong answer. So first, when you read the question, first think of the answer by yourself, what you think the answer is, and then try reading the options. Maybe you will get clarity. Common mistakes: some mistakes that I think students should avoid: memorize without understanding. As I've already said, I think I've said it a lot. Please do conceptual understanding. Ignoring penalties and timelines, this is a very big mistake. Do not do that. Trying to remember every section number, please do not do that. Unnecessarily putting a lot of pressure on your brain, it does not work. Do not remember every section number, उससे कुछ होने नहीं वाला है सारे सेक्शन याद करके. But yes, you have to consider remembering important section numbers definitely. मतलब हर एक छोटा छोटा अगर एक लाइन का सेक्शन है, what I mean by saying every section number is कि एक दो लाइन का छोटा मोटा सेक्शन है तो उसको याद करके कोई मतलब नहीं है. But a good section number that should be learned, तो वो आपको याद रखना चाहिए. If you want, I can get in the next video what the important topics and section numbers and penalties and time periods, and I can cover that for you. Then leaving revision for the end. आप रिविजन एंड पे मत छोड़ो. Once you finish a chapter, just give it a 10-15 minutes read. You will get confidence, and that's what I also did. In that 4 hours of a particular chapter, I used to also, at the end of completion of the chapter, I used to go back and I used to read through the chapter, so that retention became stronger, and I also got confidence that I remember stuff. And underestimating application based MCQs. Don't just think कि मुझे समझ में आ गया तो मैं application based MCQ आंसर कर लूंगा या कर लूंगी. Do not underestimate the paper. It's genuinely tough. When I say it is tough because I have friends who have not been able to clear after giving 3 or 4 attempts also. So please do not underestimate the paper, and I would request you to practice MCQs. Now ICI's website also has some case based MCQs, and I think Shubham Singhal sir also has some MCQ booklet. So do practice that. It will give you a hang of the questions that will be coming in the paper, and it will be really helpful. So don't just go through the theory, but also practice MCQs. That is also very important. Just learning the provisions won't work. We also need to understand what kind of questions come in the exam, so that ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए that you have gone into the exam and you're seeing the question for the first time. You should have at least practiced some MCQ so that you know what will be asked. Final advice that I would want to give you is that if you prepare consistently for around 10 to 12 days, study one chapter daily, focus on conceptual understanding, and revise penalties, days, limits, and important provisions before the exam, Set A is definitely manageable. Don't be scared of corporate and economic laws. Study smart instead of studying randomly. I hope this strategy helps you. If you found this useful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Also, comment below which SPOM paper you want me to cover next. Thank you for watching, and all the very best for your SPOM examination.